Hey there, Prime Coders. Welcome back to Prime Coding. I am Aditya, and in this video, we'll solve 18th of September actual coding questions and solutions which were recently asked. Yet, yesterday only, Cognizant has created a number of problems. So, I am here with two of the problems which were asked. So, if you are wondering about the pattern, you can see two coding questions, two SQL based questions, and one HTML, CSS, or JavaScript based question. I would say HTML and CSS based. So, if you want the SQL series and the HTML series as well, let me know in the comment section. I will create it for you. So now here I will cover two coding questions that were most trendy on yesterday. Okay, so yes, you are a teacher creating an engaging math activity for your students by writing n numbers on the classroom whiteboard. You use a green pen for odd numbers. Okay, so this is the thing that we need to note, and a red jet pen for even numbers. Okay, got it. So for odd and for even, we are using green and red pen respectively. Your task is to find and return an integer value representing the number of times you need to switch from green pen to the red pen while writing these numbers. Okay, so I need to count the switches, okay, between what? From green pen to red pen, which is from odd to even. If anytime I am switching, I need to make count of every switch. So pretty understandable problem. So input specification, an integer n and an integer array representing the number to be written. But I want to add here is you just need to complete the given function. You just need to return your answer and you're done. You don't need to take the stand-in input from a compiler, okay, which is pretty good feature, I would say. Return an integer value representing the number of times you need to switch the green pen to the red pen while writing these numbers. Okay, output format is also cleared. Now let's see the example of it. So we have few numbers on our white screen. Okay, so how we can approach this problem? The task is pretty clear. If you are on odd, then you need to switch to the red color. If you are even, you need to switch to the green color if constraints allows. Okay, so we have 70, which is even, and we have 23, which is odd. Okay, so to deal this question, what I need to do? What can be the scenarios? Okay, it can be the first scenario where, let's say, my eye is pointing to the current element. If it is even, okay, my current pen is even, and the current element that my eye is pointing on can be odd. Okay, so how I can find that? If my a of I is odd, okay, then what is the case? So if it is even, so it is a red color with the current pen. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to reinitialize my current pen color to firstly odd, so that will make count is currently whatever we saw is that was the odd number. Okay, and the next case could be, because if it is even and we are switching from red to green, then we don't need to count or increment the switches. Okay, then how many switches we used? Only when we have a green color with us and we need to switch to red, then only I need to increment the switch counter. So yeah, so other case could be you are on odd, and like currently you have your current pen color as odd, but the element that your pointer is pointing on in the whiteboard or on the whiteboard is even. So if that's the case, then you need to change your current color pen to red. Is it? So you need to change your current pen color to red. Now this is the case where you need to increment your switch case, because this is the question states when this case arises, you need to count a number of cases where this cases came. Okay, so I hope this is clear. And third point would be, if it belongs, the current pen and current element belongs to the same family, which is, let's say if it is current pen is odd and the current number is also odd, then we don't need to do anything, and vice versa for even. Okay, so the cases are pretty clear. So now let's dry run whole array elements what we have on the whiteboard on the given task that we just now created. Let's see if that will work or not. Okay, so the first case would be I need to know about the current pen or which family it belongs to. Is that from even or odd? So let's see. So 70 is even, so I will initialize the first thing as even. And what is about switches? If we need to switch from green to red, I need to make count of that. So firstly it was initialized as 0. Okay, so current pen is even. Now what I will do, I will start my loop from I to n. Okay, so I value firstly pointing to 23. Is it? So 23 is what? Odd. So let's see. My current pen color is even. So current pen color is even, as we can see. And my current output or my pointer is pointing to the odd value. So what I need to do is I just need to change it to the odd. So I just need to change my current pen to odd, and I nothing to do with my switches because it's not the case that I'm looking for. Now 13 came into the picture. So 13 is also odd. So if that's the case, we don't need to do anything. Let's go as it is. Now 26 came. Now 26 came and the current pen color is odd. So yes, the current pen color is odd with us, and 26 is even also. So I need to change my current pen color to red, or I would say to even. Okay, to even again. So yes, it's even. Now I need to increment the switch as well because we are switching from odd to even. Is it? Now 72 is also even, so will not do anything. It will just continue the for loop. Now 19 is odd. Now from where to where I'm going, 19 is odd, and my current pointer has even. So yes, the current pen will become odd and my loop gets stopped. The answer would be 1. If you see here, the output is also 1. So I hope you got the whole intuition of this problem. This is very easy problem, just and simple if else conditions, and you are end up getting the answer of this problem. Okay, so let's see the Python code. Although you just required to see until the return. Okay, this is not required. This is for the convenience I wrote. You can find the Python, C++, Java code in the description. There is a GitHub link. Just click on that. You will move to the repository where all the codes are listed there. Okay, so n if is equivalent to 0, then please return 0 because then you don't have any element. Why I wrote this is because in the constraint they wrote the element can be the 0 as well. Now switches is equivalent to 0 because we need to take count. Now current pen is even if my array, the first element is even, otherwise put as odd. As I said, we are starting our for loop from 1 to n. So I need to make things clear with my current pen is what is the value of the very first index. If it is even, I will initialize is at even, otherwise I will initialize to odd. Okay, so now if current pen is equivalent to odd, then array of I mod to equivalent to 0. So please, you are moving from green to red. So please increment your switch and reinitialize my current pen to the even because you changed to the red pen. Okay. Similarly, elif case, if my current pen is even and my current pointer, which my eye is pointing on, is odd, then I need to change current pen to odd. That's it. And other case we don't need to tackle, just move my for loop as it is. And in the last, please return the switches and you are done. So let's discuss the time complexity and the space complexity of this program. It would be O of n because I'm iterating throughout the array, and space complexity would O of n because it's in constant space. Okay, so now let's talk about the C++ code as well. If you see, the base case has been taken care of. Int switch is equivalent to 0, string current pen. Let's check that out whether it's even or odd. The very first, just make sure that you are updated with your current pen as it is a very initial part of this whole program, is it? So now starts with I, go till n. Now same loops, the first task, the second task, and you are done with your program. Just return the switches. The time complexity, space complexity remains same. You can find the CPP, Java, Python code in the description, as these problems are pretty similar. So let's hop to the next problem. So now, Shandip, Shubham, Adesh, Varun, Mukesh are the people who recently cracked Cognizant, Capgemini, TCS, NQT, Ninja, Prime and digital roles. So if you want to become one of them who is aspiring software engineer, then you should take one-to-one mock session where we'll test your technical skills as well as your HR and managerial skills. It will be extensive of 1 hour where I will check whole stuffs. Let it be your technical core, from questions from your resume, HR, manager behavior, all types of questions. After the session, we'll let you know about your resume review, what all things that you need to improve and how you can improve it, personalized feedback depending upon your session, what all stuff that you are lagging in, how to represent yourself, where to study from and what to do. Now, suggestions and future improvements, which is, I will let you know the guidance, roadmap, mentorship session, doubt solving, and much more. For that, you just need to head on to www.primecoding.in. You will find a respective company cards, book your plan, and convert your interview opportunity into the offer letter and make your parents proud. Magical library is the second problem. In a magical library, each book shelf is represented by two-dimensional array. Oh, two-dimensional array, which or where each row or second A of I represent the series value of a book. Okay, a row is considered to be magical if the sum of the odd values of the series of book, which is row, is even. Your task is to find and return an integer value representing the number of magical. Okay, so what you need to do is, let's say you have a 2D matrix and you need to find all the odd sums present in a row, and if that sum is even, if you found out the odd sum and the odd sum is even, then that row is an magical row. So you need to count that many of rows which is present in the 2D matrix. Okay, so let's see the input specification. Either we don't require, because we just need to fill the function and just return our answer. So return an integer, as you can see, an integer value representing the number of magical rows. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the explanation is as well. So we'll see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we have 7, 8, 9 with us. So let me mark the indices 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So what question states, for every row, we need to find the magical rows. How many magical rows we have? So when the magical rows it is, we need to find the odd sum present in each row. If that sum is divisible by 2 or it's an even, then only that row will be called as magical row. So how I can do it? Now I need to find the sum of each rows. Okay, so let's take count of a 0th row. Let's say the 0th row would be this one. Okay, so what I will do here is, from 0, I need to fetch the value 1, 2, 3 as well. What I need to fetch? I need to fetch the value of 1, 2, 3. So let me write the coordinates as well. For this one, what is the coordinate? Coordinate is 0, 0, 0. Is it? So if you hit on in this 2D matrix, 0, 0 is occupied by 1. Similarly, 0, 1 is occupied by 2 and 0, 2 is occupied by 3. And I need to find the sum of this. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Now 3 plus 3 is 6. So same thing I need to do. This thing can layman person will do, but we need to do same thing in the program. So what pattern I can recognize is, this is the position which will help me to grab this particular numbers present in my 2D matrix. So what is the constant here? So constant is 0, 0, 0, which is called as row number. And what is changing? 0, 1, 2 is changing, which is called as column. So what is changing? Column is changing. So we need to write two loops. First loop will be for a row, when row starts from 0 to n, and another I need to write it for column, where a column will be equivalent to 0 and it goes to m, which is n, and m stands for number of rows and columns respectively. Okay, so this will change continuously within the loop so that the row will not be disturbed and will end up having 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0, 2. Now, what step I need to do? I need to find the sum of each element present at the index. And how I can find that particular index? Just let's say this is my book. Okay, this is my book. So what I need to do is book of row and column. What it will give? It will give me 0, 1, then I have 0, 2, then we have 0, 3. Is it? So it will give me the position of each element present in a row, because row is constant here. Oh, now what I need to do is, I need to find the odd sum of all the positions. So this will find me the odd sum. But you need to initialize the odd sum for every row. Okay, if you initialize this in the local or above space, above the for loop, then it will keep on adding all sums, but you don't need to do that. I need my odd sum to be resetted whenever I see the new row. Okay, so this will reset when I go to the row 1. But what happened here is, it will keep on finding out odd sum, and when I end up finding out odd sum present on a row, then what I need to do is, after this for loop, I will write, if my odd sum, whatever I found or whatever I generated, if it is even, then please count or increase the magical count by 1. So that would be the case. I hope whatever I spoke, I wrote the same thing. This would be the imagination, how this problem would be solved, and this will be the code of it. Do you think this code is very hard? I don't think so, because row is constant. I found from this pattern, column is changing. That's why I am writing my again for loop into a for loop, so that this for loop will run fully. Then only my row will go to the next phase. What all operation I did? finding out the odd sum, then checking whether that is even or not. If it is even, then incrementing my magical count plus 1. So this is the whole intuition of this program. Let's see the program of it. So Python program. So count magical rows, I created the function as the question states, so we just need to see till return. Okay, so magical count is equivalent to 0 for row in books odd sum. Now it will find the odd sum present in a row. So num, what is num? Whatever num that we are getting from the row. Okay, that particular row. What is row? Because this will do is for book in row, it will take every row one by one. So every row, whatever nums it has, it will be considered here. And if that num is modulus is equivalent to 0, which is a boolean. So if it is, then the odd sum would be getting a sum value, and it is keep on accumulating the sum as whole values not been traversed. After traversing whole sets of value present in a row, the sum value will end up having the sums of all values. Now, if odd sum modulo 2 after finding odd sum, and if that is the case, if it is even, please increment the magical count by 1 and return the magical count in the end. I hope you got whole intuition. Now let's talk about the CPP program as well. So this is a program. Now magical count as we initialized, for loop to find b constant on the rows, b constant on the columns, initializing odd sum so that I can reset at every rows that we see. Now int j equivalent to 0, which will go for columns. Now every position I am finding, if that is odd, then only I need to compute the sum. So odd, if that's the case, please cumulate all odd number together and find the sum of it. Now check whether that odd number is even or not. If it is even, please increment by magical count, and after performing the same task on different rows, please return the magical count in the last. So you will end up having this solution. If you discuss about the time complexity and the space complexity, it is O of n square, because at every row you are going on every column numbers, not every row. Like if it is 0, you are traversing 3. If it is 1, still you are traversing 3. So that's why it is O of n square, and the space would be O of 1, because other than storing, on this is totally asked by the question, so we can consider it as O of 1. We are not considering any other space to store our outputs. So yes, this would be the case. So if you see the Java code as well, it's typically the same: rows, columns, initializing odd sum, finding it, checking it, if it is magical or not. If it is, please increment it and return the magical count. You can find Java, CPP and Python code in the description. There is a GitHub link. Go to that, click on it. You will direct it towards a repository which contains all these code snippets so that you can use for your preparation. Okay, so if you want to prepare for Cognizant fully, there is a top 30 master coding sheet. You can just go and prepare everything from that sheet. You can find the YouTube link in the description. Just head on and check that. If you want to prepare for TCS NQT, Accenture or Capgemini, Cognizant, TCS, all the coding sheets are available on the YouTube channel as well as on my Telegram group. If you have not joined, please join in, because there we have 20,000 plus people of great mind. You can ask or connect with your peers so that you can get an on-campus or off-campus placement details. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you are still watching, please do consider like this video. If you have not, subscribe this channel, and please share with your friends so that your friend can also grab this particular on-campus opportunity. We'll meet you with a new video soon.